I'm Kate Hahn with TV Insider, and we're speaking with Christine Baranski and Cynthia Nixon about HBO historical drama, The Gilded Age. Hi, I'm Kate Hahn with TV Insider, and Cynthia Nixon and Christine Baranski, thank you so much for joining us to speak about The Gilded Age.
George Russell is a power in the land. Before long, he'll put money into his pocket with every train ticket you buy. I think we should know the Russell family.
We do not move in the same circles.
Mama, you are incorrigible.
I take that as the highest praise.
You play two sisters who are pretty different types of people. Cynthia, tell us about Ada Brooke.
So Ada Brooke is a woman who has never married, has never had children, who has kind of lived her life in the margins and on the charity of her older sister Agnes, who has taken her in. She's a person of tremendous love. She has a little dog that she loves to death, but she really has so much Pumpkin, but she has so much love, you know, that with no place for it to go. And so when their niece comes to live with them through Ada's campaigning and Agnes's opposition, you know, it is perhaps the greatest thing that has ever happened to Ada, that she might have this young person in the household to add life and be a surrogate daughter, and that Ada could help shepherd through this crucial point in a young woman's life in a way that Ada sort of was not shepherded. And so her life is, you know, something of a disappointment.
Well, so Christine, you play Agnes, and as Cynthia mentioned, she's the sister who's been taking care of her younger unmarried sister for a long time. She is very different from her sister when it comes to their niece. Tell us about how she sees her duty as an aunt.
Oh, I think there's great trepidation. For one thing, she has a real feeling of animus towards her deceased brother, who really squandered the family fortune. And I think there's a reference to how Agnes really liked the wife that he chose, and we never got to know that wife, but she was certainly not highborn, and he was profligate. So already there's just a tremendous dark cloud over the whole thing, so that then Henry's daughter has no place to live. Why should we be responsible? Why should I take on yet another person, since I already took on my sister? I think there's a resentment, you know, okay, so I made the sacrifices and I've got the money. Now, do I have to take care of everybody? It's that tone of voice, like, here I go, all falls on me. But I think she's justifiably anxious about taking on this young woman, because she doesn't know how this young woman's been raised, what her value system is, and the fact that she's our niece could reflect badly if this young woman comes in and doesn't know how to behave, or compromises our reputation, much less her own. That she is indeed old New York, and she's going to behave like old New York. So, and that's not snobism, that's protectionism on Agnes's part, because indeed, if this young woman makes a wrong move, she could be compromised, and it would destroy her marriage, which meant her economic opportunities, and without economic leverage or security, a woman is dead. You're on the, as Cynthia said, you're on the margin, and there's nothing worse in that era not to have economic security, because there's no way up from that.
Cynthia, I did want to ask you, since you have starred in such an iconic show set in New York, Sex and the City, and Just Like That, what's it like to go back to this New York and play a very different character?
Yes, I mean, it is a very New York story, The Gilded Age, and certainly, as with Sex and the City, showing a lot of the opulence of New York and of New Yorkers. But I think that one of the most exciting things for me, though, was to play a character who is so much the polar opposite of Miranda. Miranda is very, very cynical, very sharp-witted, very confrontational, very brainy. And Ada is the opposite. She's an optimist, she's a believer, she's an enthusiast, and she is wears her heart on her sleeve and so full of love, and so in many ways defenseless.
The Gilded Age premieres Monday, January 24th on HBO. For more insider videos, hit subscribe.